Well, we finally got rid of the rain, and now we're back to 99, 98 degree temperatures according to my truck on the highway here, and 70 some odd percent humidity, so great. Dealing with a little Atlanta traffic heading up 85 here, but got a lady in the older kind of residential side of Atlanta with some issues going on with her AC. Worked fine the last week or so while it was still kind of cool and rainy, but suddenly today she noticed it's hot and humid in the house. We'll stop by, take a look where we're going up Briar Cliff, Shallowford area. Probably going to be a dinosaur. Always interesting to see those old guys and, you know, see the difference in how long they last versus the newer equipment. But we'll stop by, take a look, and see if we can get it going for her. Definitely have an old fella here. So fan is obviously running, but it's only blowing out cool air essentially, or just outdoor ambient temperature. I don't feel anything here. Let's open this guy up and see if the compressor is actually running. So we just heard that grinding sound. I kind of call that the coffee grinder sound. If we wait for it to start again, we'll even see a big amperage draw on this, or at least try to. That's essentially the compressor attempting to start. And typically when you're hearing that, it's a good indicator of a bad capacitor. So we just saw that big amperage draw, and that is the compressor trying to start. And we just have it hooked over the common. So let's turn this guy off and check the capacitor now. Well, that's disconcerting. So we're gonna have to go find a breaker, see what's going on here. Oh, there's nothing in there. That would explain that. We're guessing this one. 30 amps, so. And just to double check, no voltage to ground, so we're off. Let's check this capacitor. It's just hanging out in here, it looks like. All right. So there must be, yeah, there's a fan capacitor farther back just for the fan. Scorched up a little bit, but it doesn't look newly scorched rather. So it's supposed to be a 40 by 5. Obviously the fan's running a different size capacitor because it has its own. Put our meter over into microfarads, and between these 2 points, our common and our herm, or hermetic for compressor. Whoop. So I'm skating it all around everywhere. And we don't even get an open load on it, so definitely bad. We'll just make sure. So we'll grab our capacitor and see if there's a better way to mount this. This particular case, it doesn't really matter whether we go to the common side or the herm side for which side, since we only have 2 wires connecting. So I'll just hook it up whichever way my fingers happen to go. I can immediately tell we are displacing heat now. This guy is rather aged, Can't read the label anymore. The serial number looks mostly rusted off of that. I'll try to take a picture. Weirdly, it comes out sometimes better. Yeah, I can read it right there. It looks like a 2.5 ton, so a 27,000 BTU. Serial number 1981. So this unit is actually a year older than I am. Being as old as it is, we'll go ahead and check the refrigerant. So it has a piston inside. And surprisingly, we're looking pretty good. Rocking right along about 15-degree superheat. So I say we're good on this little fella. Hopefully it'll last another, 40 some odd years. Always interesting running out to that side of town. You do run into a lot of those older units from the 80s, sometimes even the 70s. Part of it is most of those are gas furnaces with straight ACs, so the AC obviously is only running in the summertime, so unlike a heat pump, it's just not completely running year-round essentially, so that does add some longevity due to wear and tear. On the other side of things, those older units, they did not know the meaning of energy efficiency a lot of times, so they didn't have quite all the bells and the whistles that newer stuff does, thus eliminating a lot of our modern points of failure. On the other hand, that old stuff is using R22. You can't get it anymore nowadays. It'd have to be some kind of drop-in. If we did have to do anything about a leak, we'd have to remove all the refrigerant and completely do a drop-in swap out kind of thing. But it's also running that lower pressure, so you're not dealing with quite the load on the compressors or copper or coils or anything that you would be with modern stuff, where in the heat of the summer like today, 96, 97 degrees right now on the highway, you might be hitting pressures 150 on the suction, if not a little more, and sometimes well into the 400s on the head side of things. So we're dealing with much lower pressure, much fewer components. They weren't quite as concerned with energy efficiency back then. They were building them to last. The copper tends to be thicker and higher quality. So just lots of little things that made them last forever. So it's always interesting to see them, the way things were done. That particular one, you can kind of hear, I refer to it as the coffee grinder sound that it does when the compressor essentially just turns into a big electromagnet and locks down, because we don't have a phase shift because the capacitor is bad. So that is one thing you can kind of listen for. I do it all the time. If you ever catch me in the wild and I'm troubleshooting your unit while I'm talking to you, turning the thermostat on, you'll often see me, not really focus on you. I'm looking at a light fixture and listening to see if I can hear the compressor doing something, see if I can watch the lights dim. Light dimming, yeah, as you saw that one when it was trying to start up, it was pulling a huge amount of amperage for just a moment. So you can see the lights dim when that happens. So if you see it happen every couple of seconds as the compressor's trying to start up, then you say, probably a bad capacitor. We'll go out and check, kind of thing. On the other hand, do take that with a grain of salt, because there is such a thing as capacitive reactance, where if the capacitor is working, you'll still see that, because the phase shift causes a little reactance in the electrical system in the house that can make the lights dim a little bit when they start to. So, not a 100%, hey, that's a capacitor not running, but it's a good clue, especially when combined with the repeatedly doing it and then the sound from outside. But easy enough, just replaced the capacitor on that guy, started right up. Wanted to check the refrigerant because it was from 1981. So it's like, well, let's make sure it's not leaking or something. Everything looked good. So left her going, and hopefully it'll run for another 40 some odd years, and we'll get back to our side of town and find something else to do.